What you're gonna do first are the seated flutter kicks. That's gonna get your quads and your hammies going just a little bit. You're just gonna sit up, all right, and just kind of flutter those legs back and forth. If you can put on like those little like fins for your feet to kind of add a little bit more resistance. And then obviously over time you want to make it a little bit just faster going back and forth to add a little bit more resistance so you can get some more strength on those quads. So like just driving it a little bit faster back and forth in the water over time. And that's going to be those flutter kicks, and once again that's going to get your quad. And, you know, a couple days of doing those the flutter kicks in the pool and stuff like that. I want you to try doing like wall sits and then progress these a little bit as well. So you're just gonna get up against the wall, all right, sitting your butt in a little bit. The deeper you sit, all right, obviously that's gonna change the angle of your quad there. You want to, over time, sit a little deeper so your quads get a little bit more stretched out, or move your feet in some, so like closer back to the wall to get that deeper knee bend. All right, and then sit a little bit deeper. And then if this feels pretty easy, over time you want to try to make it harder by either adding more time or adding weight. So just holding your kettlebell between your legs, just doing something like maybe a water jug or something like that, just to try to make the hold a little bit harder for yourself. And the big thing is just kind of adding a little bit more tension over time, trying to get that tendon and quad to be a little bit more compliant with moving in those longer ranges of motion, so you can actually, you know, utilize that for later in life. And that's what we want to do when we get out of post-surgery as well. And if we can kind of start that process now of compliancy, and then that muscle to like brain connection, hopefully that will be just an easier process before we get into our actual like post-surgery recovery, if that makes sense. Then the next one we're going to move on to are just our hand supported split squats. So these are the ones that I gave to Granpa for him to do for his hip flexor and his quad. One of his big things is his hip flexor is constantly getting tight, the psoas, and what's going on is it's pulling inward, all right, from that pelvis up to his low back, and it's making him show as like that low back tightness and then like low back pain. So for him, it's just kind of like moving that hip flexor around and then forcing it to work with the quad. So one, he can bend his knee again, and he can also like get that relief in the low back that we were talking about. So for you, this is going to happen because you're going to be, one, sitting down all the time, and two, your quad is going to be super tight just from the surgery and stuff and from the swelling. So if you can eventually progress to this movement here, it'll be super helpful for you to just like have that ability, and then hopefully have that freedom and looseness of your hip to help alleviate some of that tension on your quad. So go into those hand supported split squats. All right, you're here. You could just like grab just one side of your like your countertops or something like that, or your bar stools. If you were to put like bar stools on each side of your hands, that's fine. I just have the squat rack here because I built it. But you're just gonna take that back leg, all right, you want to bend it down, all right, and you slowly, like with your hands, are allowing the leg to take on some energy, but not all of it, all right, and you're just letting it, the leg take on more of it as you feel comfortable over time. So eventually you should just, you know, be able to do it without your hand support and just come down and up, and that'll be like, you know, as we progress over time, we build that quad strength up, but you're just using your hands to help yourself, and then you're going to obviously get both legs. You just don't want to neglect the opposite side as well. So knocking both of those out, all right, getting a couple reps.